First things first, you gotta get yourself a large, heavy bottom pan that can carry all the ingredients. I'm saying a nice square one, it's good size. Put it on about a medium heat, get it going, and add in the olive oil. You want to add enough olive oil to coat the base of the pan, but not too much for it to burn. Let it heat up for a bit. Once it gets to a good heat, add in about 4 finely chopped garlic cloves. So add in your garlic cloves that are chopped before it starts boiling, so then it cooks down, and make sure you coat it evenly with the olive oil. Let that fry off for a minute while you get the rest of the ingredients ready. And while that's frying off, get your chicken, put it down, and quickly season it with a little bit of pepper and a little bit of salt. Just mix it through. This is about 300 grams of chicken, I think. It should be more than enough, especially for a seafood paella, because this is not going to be the star of the show. We add it in just for the flavour and the fat. Add it in, scattered all the way around the pan. I'm going to wash your hands after, just in case. So wait for your chicken to quickly colour. You're going to have a nice white colour on the outside of all your chicken pieces. While this is cooking away now, you need to now add a half teaspoon of thyme. We're using dry thyme because I've got it in my pantry. 1.5 bay leaves. Again, dry. You want to smell the aromatics coming through from the bay leaves, from the thyme. It really fills your nostrils with real nice smell. You want to get a nice colour on your garlic. You also want to get a nice colour on your chicken. So you have to leave it to simmer away, fry away for about 3 to 5 minutes, just to get the nice colour on all of it. Keep it mixing, keep it moving so nothing burns. Especially in a heavy bottom pan and small pieces of garlic, they're quite prone to burn. So make sure you keep them frying away and keep it moving in the pan. Once you've got a nice colour on all your chicken, what you want to add next is 3 diced peppers and 1.5 diced onions. We've got a video for both of these coming up, so make sure you check them out. But it's very easy to dice and make sure they're an equal size of both. Add both of them in. And make sure the heat is high so it keeps frying. I've used a variety of peppers. I've used red and green, just to add colour to the dish more. And I've used white onions because they keep the best flavour. Let this simmer away now for a few more minutes. Just to get colour on all the onions. Make sure the onions start caramelising, become a little bit translucent. That's when you know the onions starting to cook. And the peppers will slightly soften. And that's when you're ready to add to the next step. What you've got is your onions have got a little bit more translucent, your peppers are a lot more softer, and the whole thing is just frying away very smoothly, and you're ready for the next step. Once those are sweating away, you have to get yourself 100 grams of peas, 150 grams of green beans, and add them in. Make sure you get fresh ingredients, because fresh ingredients make all the difference. Stir those in also. And now you can see that the whole kitchen is really wafted with a beautiful smell of vegetables. The smell of onion is really permeating through. Wish you guys could smell this. Looks fantastic already, and I haven't even started it properly. Let this sweat down now for another 5 minutes, and we're ready for the next step. With that frying away now, getting a nice colour on it, we're ready to add our seasoning. So what we're going to do first, we're going to add a healthy pinch of salt. Maybe half a teaspoon of salt, just to cover the whole dish. a nice amount of pepper. You also want to add some paprika to add that nice spicy flavour and the colour. And the last thing I'm adding is some powdered saffron. Just for the umami flavour and the colour. You want to mix that all in, making sure to coat the whole. And as you can see, the nice colour is now starting to come through. Looks fantastic. Now, what you can see, an amazing colour that's started to develop on all the vegetables, the chicken especially, you can see. So now, it's time to add the tomato passata. We're using passata, you can also use frito. Frito is basically cooked down with garlic. We're using passata with garlic. I'm going to use about half the jar, which is about 400 millilitres. I'm going to draw that in. This adds body to the paella. Passata is beautiful.
That's disgusting.
Passata is beautiful. And mix that in. Keep the heat on medium-high so it doesn't simmer, but instead coats and fries. And that's what you want now. You want all your vegetables coated very nicely with the passata. And now is a perfect time to add some white wine. I'm using a Sauvignon Blanc, one of my favourite wines. Add about half a cup. Don't worry if you're a vegetarian.
Half the bottle.
Out of the cup. It's white wine at the end of the day, so you can add what you want. Don't worry if you don't drink wine, it will evaporate off. It's just there to add the flavour to help reduce the whole mixture down. If you don't want to use white wine, you can just add extra stock, which I'm going to add later in the video. And now, after you added the white wine, just let that bubble away for about 5 minutes, just to burn off all the alcohol and reduce the mixture down. After you added the sauce and let it simmer down and boil down for about 5 minutes, wait until all the vegetables and all the chicken have a good generous coating of the passata, which is about now. It looks fantastic. And once it does have a generous coating on all the vegetables and all the chicken, you're ready to add your rice. We were lucky enough to find paella rice at our local supermarket. It is quite prevalent. If not, you can use an arborio rice, almost the same, but try and look for a paella rice. We're using 500 grams, and what we're going to do is just going to slowly add it. Added it, now you have to coat it. Make sure that all the rice is now coated generously, like your vegetables and like your chicken. At this point, the mixture should start to get quietly thick, and it should feel quite hard to coat it properly. Once you've coated all your rice, you've got to go straight in with the chicken stock. I'm going to add enough chicken stock to the mixture to cover all the ingredients by about half a centimetre. That's about right. So as you can see, I've added enough stock to cover the top of the rice, cover all the ingredients, and now we have to let that simmer down. Looking at the jug, I've used about 700 millilitres of chicken stock. This should be more than enough. Make sure you increase the heat to a high heat and let that simmer down. This should take about 10 minutes, 10 to 12 minutes, and once you're done, you're ready to add the final ingredients. So from where we left off, the paella has become a lot bigger. The actual volume of liquid has fallen, but it hasn't fallen completely. So now's the perfect time to add your seafood. Make sure, before you add the seafood, that your rice is at least partially cooked. Try and get it al dente, because you don't want to have hard rice when your seafood is cooked. Otherwise your seafood will get rubbery. We're going to be adding some freshly cleaned mussels. And we're also going to be adding some fresh prawns, which I've already deveined and let to cool. So what we want to do is just place them on top. Go around. This is the time where you can add any seafood you want. You can add squid, you can add scallops, you can add literally any sort of seafood you like. My sister likes prawns, I like mussels. she went and bought a 2 kg bag of mussels, so we thought, why not? So you just want to place it all the way on top, all the way around. Don't know if there's going to be enough space for the mussels as well. And the same with the mussels. You want to place the mussels in, maybe covering it a little bit with the liquid. You'll know when the mussels are cooked because they'll open up.
The more the merrier, guys. The more the merrier.
Definitely, the more the merrier. We're going to be adding enough for a feast for about 10 people. I'm just trying to find space around here now.
Never be stingy with your seafood, guys.
Never be stingy with your seafood. Just might as well.
If you're gonna do it, go all out.
There we go. That seems like a good amount. Just wash my hands very quickly. The beauty with this is now, because the paella rice is still at the bottom, it's going to burn a little, it's going to char, but that adds to the flavour of paella. Once this gets cooked, we'll flip it, we'll incorporate it, and we'll see what happens next. So as you can see now, the prawns are cooking away, the mussels are slowly but surely opening. And just before you're eating, make sure that all the mussels have opened. If they haven't opened, chuck away the ones that haven't opened, and you're ready to eat the rest. Okay, so it's basically done now. The liquid's all simmered down, the rice is cooked. So you just want to add a handful of parsley, finely chopped. Just to add that final bit of flavour. And we're done. Just bring it over, you can serve it straight from the pan. And there you go. Seafood paella served authentically.